Hi, Aya.
What's
I
up?
can speak a little bit better.
That's
A
great.
little bit better. Okay, there you go. It should get edited in like 2 days. I can like speak a bit better than this. Also, let me show you something.
You need like 10 seconds.
Trying to. Oh shoot. Not. Hold on. I don't know why. Oh, okay.
Alright, bro. Base feed. W screaming fetus. W's in the chat. How's it going, Seth? What do you want to talk about? Seth, you gotta be in the app for me to hear you. You gotta see me for me to hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can. Do you support How old are you?
Join.
How old are you?
Can I rejoin? I can't hear you.
Sure. Turn back up in the guest box. Moving on to the next guest.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hello.
Bipolar, do you support Trump?
Yep.
Yeah, I do.
How old are you?
26.
19.
Okay, why do you support Trump, Bipolar? Take it away.
Personally, my VA's gotten better. My immigration with my mother is pretty smooth, and I just can't fuck with Democrats on basic shit. Personally.
Yes, trans people and abortion.
Trans people, fucking. I need them to kill themselves, and abortion, that's for the hoes, so they can do what they want.
Oh my god, bro. Are you serious? Bro, tree. Oh my god, moving on to the next guest. Bipolar hater, you're getting banned. Let's bring Seth back up.
Hello.
How's it going? How old are you?
19.
When's your birth year?
March 2nd, 2007.
How many hours are in a typical full-time work week?
Wait, what?
How many hours are in a typical full-time work week?
I cannot hear you.
How many hours are in a typical full-time work week?
How many hours are on a typical work week?
Full-time work week, yes.
40.
Okay. Are you in school?
Yeah. Wait, in high school?
Yeah, high school, college?
Oh, I am in college.
What are you majoring in?
Philanthropy.
Is that you in your profile?
No. It's not.
Sure,
Okay.
take it away, debate. Why do you support Trump?
Yeah, I support him on the transgender bathroom man.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. Anything else?
Wait, hold on. I need to come back. I cannot hear you.
Moving on to the next guest. Camden?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I'm so sorry. What was the question that you asked me?
Sure, why do you support Trump?
Yeah, the transgender bathroom man.
We're not gonna talk about that. I've talked about that for the last hour and a half. So give me another reason.
I didn't know that you were
I'll wait to
talking about
introduce
it.
myself, I guess.
Wait, I didn't know that you were talking about it.
Sure, now you know. So why else do you support Trump?
Yeah, I'm a one policy voter. That's the only reason why I support him.
If Donald Trump if Donald Trump greenlit the deaths of 14 million people, would you still support him?
No.
Okay, Donald Trump greenlit the death of 14 million people by taking funding, USA funding by
You're asking me.
90%.
Well, I would vote for him on one policy. I wouldn't support him.
Would you still support him? Would you what I mean by
I would
support
only
is voting
vote
for him.
not support
Okay,
him.
would you still vote for him if you could go back in time, knowing that if he greenlit the deaths of 14 million people, would you still vote for him? Yes or no?
I would only vote for him on the trans policy.
So is it yes or no? If you knew
Yeah, I
he
would still
greenlit,
vote for him.
so you would still vote for him if you knew that you would that he would greenlit 14 million deaths.
Yeah.
Get out of my live stream. Moving on to the next guys. If you're a Trump supporter, join up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you. I hate single issue voters. Absolutely hate them. Because then you're gonna say if like Donald Trump raped 500 kids, 5,000 kids, you would still vote for him. Insane. That would be like I just asked him if Donald Trump greenlit the deaths of 14 million people, he would still vote for him. Insane. Right. That's insane. If you support Trump, join up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you, love to have a debate with you, love to have a conversation with you tonight. Dun 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 dun. Why is that stuck in my head? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Why don't you? A lot of different reasons, man. Come up and debate me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Turn up in the guest box. I support President Trump because we're getting our Doge tax. We're getting our Doge tax. I see there's no way Democrats can win now. Why you support liberals or Republicans at all? Because not Republicans, liberals are going to be the lesser of the two evils. Actually, no, progressive, sorry. To clarify. Dun 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 dun. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. If you have not already, repost the live, share the live, do all the wonderful things. Moving on to Tyler. How's it going?
Hey, nigga, shut your bitch ass up, nigga. I slap the fuck out you, no family boy. I shoot your bitch ass, nigga.
If you support Trump, join up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you, love to have a conversation with you, I'd love to have a debate with you. Once again, if you support Trump, join up in the guest box. We are looking for some debates. Dun 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 dun. Should we play Contexto, chat? Dun 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 dun. Liberal and Republicans equals murders. Establishments. Or your pictures of Hakeem and Epstein? I don't even know if like there are pictures of Hakeem and Hakeem Jeffries and Epstein. If there are, I mean, if there's evidence that he did something bad, put him in jail. If no one can have a serious conversation, real. Ugh, I had 3 Diet Cokes, but I want another one because I'm thirsty. But I have water. Our government needs to pay for its mistake. I literally just want to debate. Everyone knows Epstein was a Democrat. Okay. Leave the follow, Evan. Why is this about a party thing? Democrats and Republicans, if they did something bad, go to jail. Including Trump. Including Bill Clinton. Debating isn't helping shit. Yeah, it is. It's advocating for political dialogue. We're 146 followers away from the YouTube subscription from hitting 500 followers. So make sure you go follow the YouTube link in bio. How's it going? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, you quit right in the middle of the Jeopardy theme. I thought you were going to get through the whole thing.
No. How's it going? Are you a Trump supporter?
I voted for Trump 3 times. Yeah.
Do you still support him?
Yeah, I do. I support him. Continuing his term and finishing out what he started.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Sure. Why do you support him?
Well, I voted the most important topics or issues was immigration and taxes and foreign policy.
Sure. What has he done with immigration?
Well, he's enforced the law.
How so?
What do you mean how so? I mean, he's rounding up people who who have no right to be here and deporting them, just like Clinton did, just like Obama did,
So
just
mass
like Bush did.
deportation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
What's one benefit of mass
absolutely.
deporting undocumented immigrants who haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime?
Well, they have committed a crime.
A violent
They're-
crime or bad crime?
It doesn't have to be a violent crime or a bad crime. They have committed a crime. Both of my parents were immigrants, and they came through the legal channels. They came here legally.
Sure.
They got their green cards, and then I was born in Pennsylvania
Sure.
in 1971.
Sure.
And I feel like if they can come here and follow the rules, they didn't come here and go on welfare. They didn't come here and get any kind of handouts. They came here and worked.
Mhm.
And I feel like if they can do that, then everybody can. And I don't.
But
I
I
don't
guess
really
the question.
care.
We can. What's one benefit of mass deporting undocumented immigrants in general?
They're here illegally.
Well, what's the benefit of deporting them?
What's the benefit of allowing illegals to be here?
I think there are going to be benefits, but I don't agree with illegal immigration. But you,
You
do
don't
agree
agree
with mass deportation. You do agree with mass deportation. So what is one
I
benefit of mass deporting undocumented
I agree with following the law.
So a benefit is going to be upholding the law.
Yeah, upholding the law for one.
There's a big contradiction here.
How's that?
Donald Trump has violated the law.
Which
You
law?
care about Yeah, I mean, we could go through the talking points: 34 count felons, adjudicated
Yeah,
rapists,
but see,
blah, blah, blah,
well, hold
violating
on.
gag
But
orders.
he wasn't adjudicated as a rapist. Okay, for one. The 34. It just amazes me. It really does. This is why
I didn't want to
liberals
talk
really.
about these talking
No, no,
points. wanted to
I
talk
know, I
about
understand.
something else.
No,
That's
no,
why I
no,
said
no, well-
talking points. But go ahead.
Right, but it just fascinates me how the same people who say that the criminal justice system is unfair and it's wrong and it wrongfully convicts people and it's a terrible system, you're the first ones to stand behind it when it convicts someone that you don't like, and when you can use that conviction as a stick to beat someone.
Yeah, because
you-
of the evidence.
you
in the
guys-
case.
No, it's because you guys talk out of both sides of your mouth. That's what the problem is. You say that America is a terribly racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, Islamophobic, oppressive patriarchy, and it discriminates against people of color. But yet, what do you want to do? You want to flood the country with more people of color. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You guys talking about
How is that a contradiction? And also, we don't want to what? It doesn't matter what race they are. We should have immigration into this country. But
Why?
I guess the
Well, hold on,
contradiction.
hold on, though. Why do we need more people when we have 40,000 unhoused people here in downtown Los Angeles? We don't have homes.
They're beneficial for not only themselves and their family, but for the economy. One out of every 7 undocumented immigrant is a construction worker. So they contribute into the supply side.
So, but you
They
guys are
contribute to the
but see,
supply side.
right. But exactly, they contribute to the supply side when it comes to labor. Okay, to that kind of labor. And if you understand the economic law of supply and demand, when you increase the supply, you bring the price down. So they suppress wages in the construction field.
I'm not disagreeing with you there. That's why I agree with mass amnesty to make them legal citizens so that their
No.
wages are increase.
Their wages would not increase. Why would their wages increase?
Because they're not getting paid under the table and they're getting paid at fair wages.
Well, okay, I'll give you that. They are getting paid. Some of them are getting paid under the table. Yes, they're doing cash day labor jobs and stuff like that. You're right about that. But I don't agree with just granting amnesty, even though Reagan did. Even though Reagan did it, because they broke the law. Because they didn't.
But a
because
president
they-
that broke the law, he violated
We're
the
not talking
Constitution.
about. We're not talking about
But
paying
I'm
off.
talking about the
we're not
hypocrisy,
talking,
man.
It's not hypocrisy. We're not talking
Yes.
about paying. We're not talking
you-
about
you
paying
say-
off a porn star.
No,
That's not
no,
even
no,
the
we're
same
not.
thing.
I don't care about him paying off a porn star. Is that like is cheating on your
Neither
wife
do
like
I.
more? Is cheating
Neither
on
do
your
I.
wife? Is cheating on your wife like morally wrong? Sure. Is it fraud? Sure. But I don't even care about that. Push that aside, right? Him raping someone, sure. That's very, very, very
You
bad.
have
And I
to,
don't
dude.
think,
You
I
have
don't
to
think a
be
rapist should be a
right.
president.
You've got to
but-
be a real. You have to be a complete idiot to believe her story.
Sure.
You
What's
really
the
do.
reasonable doubt?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What's the reasonable doubt? What is there? What reason is there to believe her silly claim that
The
that
civil,
happened
the civil
in a?
court case that determined it.
No. I didn't ask you about the civil court case. I'm asking you.
Oh yeah, but why?
For what reason do you believe her story?
Yeah, a lot of different reasons. Witness testimony, her testimony.
There was no witness. There were no witnesses.
There was
who claimed-
friends that
There
said
there
that
were
friends
there
that
were
came
no
out-
witnesses.
Friends,
Hold on.
friends that came out.
There
and
were
said
no
that,
witnesses who saw it happen. No witnesses were there.
I don't think we understand the legal definition of like witness testimony.
I do.
When I'm referencing like witness testimonies, I'm referencing like when
That's hearsay. That's hearsay.
it was used as evidence in a civil court.
Well,
It
it's
wasn't
still
deemed as
hearsay.
hearsay.
It's not direct evidence.
It wasn't deemed
It's
as
not-
hearsay.
It's not direct evidence.
I will continue. Also, therapist notes and then DNA. This is going to be
There
the
was
main
no.
reason.
There
This
was
is the
no
main reason.
DNA. There was no
Yes.
DNA in that case.
There was unidentified male DNA.
Exactly, unidentified.
Donald Trump was given 3 years to give his DNA, and he refused.
Right,
If
he doesn't have to. Why does he have
but
to?
Hold on, because if he would have given his DNA, he would have been proved innocent, and he wouldn't
No.
have had to pay her millions
No.
of dollars. Yes?
No.
Because if
No.
his DNA wasn't on there, then he would have been found innocent.
It does no. He wouldn't have been found innocent because a court doesn't find you innocent, and a civil court doesn't find you innocent either. Okay,
I'm talking about colloquially, like innocent or guilty.
even if the DNA matched, it doesn't prove that he forced himself on her. That doesn't prove anything.
So are you saying like rape can be proven in any circumstance?
And that's not what I said.
So how do you
But-
how do you
but-
prove
but if the- but
how
if
do you
the-
prove
but if
that
the
how do
DNA
you prove
didn't
that it was
match-
forceful? How do you prove that it was forceful? How do you prove something is forceful?
You typically have to. It's a totality of circumstances, a totality of the evidence against
That's
the
okay.
accused.
When Donald Trump said he grabs women by the pussy without asking, that's forceful.
Yeah, he just totally just walks up to complete strangers and does
That's what
that,
he
right?
said. That's what he said.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. That's what you weak-minded liberals heard from what he said. Okay, you didn't listen to the whole thing. You're taking things out of context. He didn't say he just walks up to random women and grabs them by the vagina. He never said he didn't say that. And you have to listen to what he actually said in the totality. Okay, and what he was actually saying is the truth. When you're a celebrity, they let you do it. Women throw themselves. There are Playboy models who throw themselves at men like Donald Trump. Are you still there?
Yeah, sorry, I was looking for the clip.
Yeah, I know what you don't have to play the clip. I know what the clip
Oh,
says.
so then then you agree he did say that, or like not explicitly
did
that,
say
not
what?
word for word, but that he grabs women by the pussy without asking.
He
Not word
says
for word, but
he
something along
says
those
yeah,
lines.
he says you can do whatever you want. You can grab them by the pussy, and when you're a celebrity, they let you do it.
No,
he was telling the truth.
No, you need.
That's what he
consent.
said. That's
You
no,
need-
that's
you
what he.
need
But that's
the-
what he said.
A celebrity.
That's what he said.
A celebrity needs consent.
He said they let you do it, which they do.
Not every single person. No.
Dude. Is it what's your name? Jeremiah? Bro,
Yeah.
seriously. Do you have a favorite like rock or heavy metal band?
No, I don't really listen to music. I'm bland.
Don't listen to music. Okay. Well, if you did, say you had like Metallica or Megadeth. Okay, there are what you call groupies. Okay, who follow the bands around and offer themselves for sexual purposes all the time. Okay, when you're a celebrity,
If they
you have-
consent
you-
to that, then that's consentful. But if it's
he didn't say it was not consensual. He didn't say it wasn't consensual. You're assuming that it wasn't consensual.
Right, based on like circumstantial evidence of like his admission of guilt of sexual exploitation as well.
I'm sorry, you were breaking up, but you said something
Based
about
on circumstantial evidence of his admission of guilt of sexual exploitation and the credible accusation in the Epstein files of child rape.
there are no credible accusations.
A credible
In there.
accusation that was at Jane Doe number 4. She was credible deemed by the Trump administration in their first term. Sued the Epstein estate. That same accuser that was deemed credible by Trump in his first term accused Donald Trump of child rape.
Right. And so what happened with the lawsuit against the Epstein estate?
Oh, she won the lawsuit, winning millions. Oh, or they settled. Sorry, they settled the lawsuit with the Epstein estate. She settled, won millions of dollars.
Yeah, a settlement means nothing though.
So are you saying she wasn't like Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic her?
I don't know. I don't even know who this woman is. Now, you want to talk about if you want to talk about Virginia Roberts? Okay,
Well,
she
hold on.
she definitely was.
Do you believe the victims of Jeffrey Epstein?
I believe some of them, yes. You think they're all telling the truth? Really? You think there's no reason to question any of their stories whatsoever?
Okay.
All they have to say is
I'm just gonna ignore
that such no, and don't ignore it. Are you going to tell me that all a woman has to do is make an accusation and she should be believed immediately,
That's
no
why we
matter,
should.
no matter
That's
what?
why. That's why. Yes. That's why we should do an investigation on top of that. We should believe victims.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Because
Yeah,
guess
sure.
what?
Well, no,
Guess what? Guess
no,
what? Guess what?
we shouldn't.
98%.
Not by default.
Well, 98% of a rapist don't get held accountable. So we should definitely believe someone when they come out with a rape
Well-
accusation. We should believe them. Yes. We should
Okay.
believe them. Do an investigation, and obviously innocent until
Mhm.
proven guilty. But we should believe them.
Right.
with our
So,
own
but what if they're completely making this story up though?
And if it's found in a court that they completely made it up and fabricated it beyond a reasonable doubt, then that's like defamation. I don't know.
Yeah. But see, that's why.
Have any of these? But have any of these Epstein victims have been sued for defamation? Have they like lost the case?
Yes, they have actually.
Okay, who?
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of that.
Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who accused Prince Andrew, who, by the way, she also admitted to being paid $15,000.
Did she lose
Hold
a
on,
defamation
let me-
case?
Yeah, she sued. She sued Alan. Well, actually, she sued Alan Dershowitz, and Alan Dershowitz sued her also because she claimed that he was one of the people that she was trafficked to.
Mm-hmm.
But the woman's a liar. She's a liar on that, without a doubt. On that one, I don't believe her accusation against Alan Dershowitz at all. And at the end of the day, she admitted under oath in the deposition that she was paid $15,000 to sleep with Andrew Windsor. So at the end of the day, she's a prostitute. Nobody put a weapon to her head and forced her to do it.
So
She was paid
with Alan in
$15,000.
2009. With Alan in 2019, they settled.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe they did. I don't know. I don't think either one. They countersued each other. They sued each other. There was a suit filed, I think, initially by. I'm not sure who filed first, but whoever.
She sued him, and then they settled.
Yeah. And he countersued and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they
I
settled.
believe him. I believe Dershowitz, because just my gut tells me.
I don't know much about this case. I would have to look into it. But if it was found beyond a reasonable doubt that she lied, then I would think that's obviously bad. Again, I don't know much about this case to like speak on it. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't believe like the victims of Jeffrey Epstein that come out. I think we should believe them.
I believe some of them. Yes,
I think we should believe all of them until they give us a reason not to.
and that's what I'm talking about.
Obviously, we
That's
can't.
what I'm talking about.
Obviously, we can't go and say that like the person that they're accusing is guilty, right? We can
Not all
believe
their-
them.
right,
We
but
can
not all
we
their-
can believe them, and we don't have to say that they're guilty, right?
No,
That's what I
well,
mean. But just
not-
believing them, but not like saying that the person they're accusing is guilty. That's all I'm saying.
Not all of their stories are the same, though. You have to understand that. Not all
Right,
of them.
of course, they're not all going to.
Not all their stories are the same. There was a girl from Russia who was recruited by Maxwell. She was interviewed by NBC. She was recruited by Maxwell. She was 14 years old. She was from Russia, and that was I think on not on the first visit, but on a subsequent visit, it turned into a forcible situation. And I watched her tell her story, and I do believe her. And the way she told the story, her tone of voice, her mannerisms, all that kind of stuff, I do believe she was telling the truth. Jeffrey Epstein was, without a doubt, a rapist. Without a doubt.
Yeah, we're not disagreeing there. Have you heard of like the clip of Donald Trump like admitting to sexual exploitation on Howard Stern show?
Admitting to what now?
Sexual exploitation. Maybe the following.
Who was he admitting to having sexually exploited?
Women and girls at his pageants that he owned.
No. He never said anything about exploiting women or girls at his pageant. He said so. He says no, he didn't. He said some off-color things about.
Can we agree that
hold on.
Sure.
About the Miss USA about the Miss USA pageant, but people who hate him want to parlay that into. He said he goes backstage at the Miss Teen USA pageant to check out the merchandise. That's not what he said.
But that's not what he said. But 4 victims said that this happened while there was girls as young as 15 years old. But can we agree?
No. Hold on. No girl at the Miss Teen USA
Maria
pageant.
Bellato.
Who?
Maria Bellato.
And what year was this?
1997.
And how old was she?
18.
18, exactly.
And she said that there was some. But she's the one who made the claim that there were some girls as young as 14 and 15 years old. She saw these young.
So was it?
kids.
Was it the Miss USA pageant?
No, Miss Teen, because they were 15 years old. Underage girls are in Miss Teen USA. That's why it's like Miss Teen.
Well, he didn't
mean
mean
18 years old, but mainly like.
Yeah, I don't. I think the lines got crossed.
Would it be wrong for him to sexually exploit women?
It's wrong for anybody to.
Would you vote for him? Would you vote for him if he sexually exploited women?
Well, you have to be specific in what you're saying.
We can get into the definition. Is the definition of sexual exploitation any actual or attempted abuse of position of power or trust for sexual gratification? Do you agree with that?
Run that by me one more time.
Any actual or attempted abuse of position of power, vulnerability, or trust for sexual gratification. Do you agree that is sexual exploitation?
You mean for sexual favors? That kind of thing? Is that what you mean?
No, like sexual exploitation is any actual or attempted abuse of position of power, vulnerability, or trust for sexual gratification.
Can you give me an example?
Example: the owner of Kohl's says that he can enter a woman's dressing room because he owns the place, and then watches a woman get naked without her consent. That would be sexual exploitation. Example: Bill Clinton, right? He used his position of power for like a blowjob from Monica Lewinsky, right? You can count that as sexual exploitation because he used his position of power.
No, I don't agree there at all.
You don't agree with that definition?
No, I don't.
What is sexual exploitation?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's you could find a textbook definition. You could find a Webster's dictionary definition. I followed the Monica Lewinsky case very, very closely, and what you had was a man in a very high position of power. We got to give him that. He was the president of the United States. Okay,
right. That's where very
charming. Very charming, very charismatic guy, Bill Clinton, with a long history of marital infidelity, and he was smitten by a beautiful 21-year-old intern, who in turn was smitten by him also. And I think they did have very strong feelings for each other. I know she had very strong feelings for him.
How do you know that?
And because she said it in multiple interviews. And if you see her face, light up like a Christmas tree when she talks about him. Hold on a second, I got cops going by here. And it was an office romance that kind of got out of hand.
So, some people do classify that as sexual exploitation. I was just giving you examples that are typically classified as. Okay, but you said you disagree with. But can you agree the definition of like a Kohl's owner entering a woman's dressing room because they're the owner of Kohl's and is that sexual exploitation?
I think what Trump said was wrong, and I think
was it sexual exploitation?
I think what he did was if he did go backstage at the pageant and felt that he could go back into the dressing room area, simply because he owned the pageant, I think that's wrong. Yes, I think that's wrong.
Would that be sexual exploitation?
No, I don't think so.
Then what is sexual exploitation? Because I'm getting mine from the let's see, I forget the name.
See, oftentimes when it comes to these terms. Okay. Oftentimes, what it is it's usually the feminist movement in this country trying to basically shield women from the responsibility for their own actions.
No, feminism is just like equality.
No, it's
my
not. No,
definition,
it's really not. It's really
my
not.
definition is from the UN, UNHR.org.
Yeah, yeah, and that's fine. I mean,
But why do you disagree with my definition? You said you disagree. Why?
I mean, I don't feel like those women were being necessarily exploited. I mean, it's a beauty pageant. You know,
Right, but they consented to being
they're
seen
using.
They
they're
consented to
using-
being seen on stage and not in a
Right.
private dressing room.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And like I said, I feel like what he did, if he actually did it, and the way he spoke about it, it was inappropriate, without a doubt.
But can you agree that that's sexual exploitation? Is the question.
No, I don't think I would use such
Okay,
colorful
but
language.
why do you
as
why
that,
do you
because
disagree?
I just because I don't, I don't think he used. Well, yeah, I mean, you might be right. You might be 51% at least correct on that one. Then,
So if it's more likely than not to be the case that it is sexual exploitation, why do you still support
Yeah.
someone who is more likely than not to be?
because
sexually
because
exploited?
I didn't hire him I hired him to run the country and to enforce the
And
laws.
he's ran this country-
Hold
he's ran this
on,
country into
hold
the
on.
ground.
No, he fucking hasn't, man.
The
What
economy is trash.
Dude, what is wrong? Seriously, for Christ's sake, what is wrong with you liberals that you have to say such unsubstantiated bullshit like that?
Jobs
Have you-
reports in
hold on,
2025
no,
are
no, no,
bad.
hold on,
Inflation, GDP is bad.
hold on. Okay, that's bullshit. Okay, all right. The fucking stock market is over 50,000. Okay, my stock. The Dow, the Dow is over
Dow.
50,000. Yeah, the Dow.
Is this a Bondy method? Hold on.
Hold on. Do you have any money invested?
Hold on. Are you using the Bondy method?
The Bondy method?
Yeah, she said this in like a hearing. The Dow is 50,000.
But it
Jeffrey
is.
Epstein.
Yeah, but it is.
Okay, like that's not like. What does that have anything to do with the economy?
Because 62% of Americans who are adult are invested in the stock market. 62%. People's 401ks, people's pensions, people's IRAs, people's individual stock portfolios like mine, which is turning 90% right now. I have a 90% return on investment in my Roth. I'm doing pretty darn good. You're saying that the economy is trash.
It is.
No, it's
market.
not.
The job market is down. Inflation is up. The worth of the dollar is down. Private investment into manufacturing is down. GDP growth is down compared to 2025 to 2024. Right? All the gas prices are up. Food away from home. Food away.
He's been president for how long? But he's been president for how long?
But he caused these. You know want to know why? Comparing 2024 to 2025, inflation was better. The worth of the dollar was better. And
Inflation
GDP growth
is
was
up,
better.
dude. Inflation is up just a little bit. Okay.
No, it was at two.
It's up. It's up just a little bit.
We want it to be. We want it to be at 2.0, and it's at 3.3 right now.
Oh, okay. And if you look throughout history, it fluctuates all the time. It fluctuates
But he
every
caused
quarter.
this. He caused it.
That's okay. That's your claim that he caused it. Okay. Now invading
The inflation
the war- hold on.
skyrocketed after the war, right?
No, it's not skyrocketing. See, there you go again. There you liberals go again with your stupid, fucking inflammatory, unsubstantiated language, dude. What is wrong with you?
Okay,
people?
the inflation went up after the war started, yes,
The price of gas did, yes.
which made inflation go up, yes.
The price of gas can have effect on a lot of things, yes.
Okay, so the economy is doing bad.
When it's not doing bad. It's not doing bad.
Name me one macroeconomic variable that is doing good.
The stock market is doing very good. Is it not?
The stock market isn't like a macroeconomic variable that would like tie into the economy.
You know what? 62% of the American people, working adults in America, are invested in the stock market. 62%.
Okay, but can you give me a macroeconomic variable that's doing better now than it was in 2024?
What are your top macroeconomic variables? Give me your top 5.
Inflation, GDP, worth of the dollar.
Well, inflation is not anywhere near as bad as it was. Okay,
Inflation is up, though.
it's going to fluctuate. Okay, it's going to fluctuate. It always fluctuates. Okay, the value of the dollar, dude. Our dollar.
Obama didn't fluctuate.
No, really. Inflation just stayed flat the whole 8 years.
Well, what do you mean by?
In 8 years, he went from $8 trillion of debt to over $16 trillion of debt. And of course, you're going to blame Bush for that now, right? You're going to blame that on George Bush?
We'll just search up how much debt Related spending. Did Obama?
Well, the thing is, the problem with the debt and the budget and all that kind of stuff is that the president has very, very little discretionary spending. The majority of the budget is entitlements. You know, even this massive defense spending that we partake in the United States, more than 60% of that budget goes to pay and pension.
He added 8. It says the U.S. national debt grew 8 trillion.
He doubled it.
Donald Trump also added 8 trillion. Biden added 4 trillion, way less.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously, in relation to the debt, Harris would have been better because the Biden-Harris.
But that's not Harris, dude. You know something, Jeremiah? There's no way you can be serious when you look at Kamala Harris and listen to the things that she spoke about, and when she spoke,
we would be in a much better position right now.
I'll give you this. She probably would not have wanted to attack Iran,
which is good.
But at the end, yeah, it is good. And honestly, between you and me and the wall here, I think it would have been much better had Iran actually developed nuclear weapons, because if they did have,
bad. No one should have nuclear weapons.
Okay,
but not Israel, not the United States, not anyone.
But we do. Okay, and the thing is that the reason why we have to deal with North Korea on a completely different playing field that we did before, we can't bully them. We can't park a bunch of warships off the coast and try to intimidate them as we before, because they are a nuclear power. Now, they may not be able to hit the United States, but they could hit one of our allies very easily. Okay, so it's the ultimate stalemate. Do you think we would be bombing the shit out of Iran right now if they had 25 nuclear weapons that they could fire at us? No.
Sure, mutually assured destruction. I see your argument there. But yeah, continue with what you were saying about Harris.
Yeah, Harris might not have wanted to take it upon herself to attack Iran, but at the end of the day, I think you're smart enough to know, and you've probably done enough reading. The Israel lobby in Washington dictates our foreign policy, and they have more influence all over our foreign policy than anything else. It's the most powerful lobby in Washington, probably even more powerful than the National Rifle Association. Because every issue gets debated in front of Congress almost every year, from the budget to abortion to Second Amendment rights.
Where's this going with Harris? What does Harris have to do with it?
I'm gonna tell you in just a second.
Sorry, continue.
It's all right. Every issue, and I appreciate your cordial dialogue with me. I really do. It's very uncommon here on TikTok. Every issue gets debated. On the floor of the House and the Senate every single year, except support for Israel.
Sure, I completely disagree with the support for Israel.
Okay, and I do too. Maybe with the exception of Ilhan Omar, AOC, the Squad, who those people will speak against Israel and stuff like that. With the exception of them, just about every other member of Congress won't dare speak.
Thomas Massey is a Republican. And
he
doesn't support aid to Israel, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
so there's like 2 or 3 people on each side that don't.
It's not so much it's the unconditional aid to Israel that's a problem. No matter what they do.
I think we should cut aid to Israel. Guess what? Thomas Massey got booted out by Donald Trump because he doesn't support Israel, and because of the guess he lost because he wants P3DOs out of office, and because he doesn't want to send foreign aid. He doesn't want to send money to foreign countries. That's why he lost.
Who wants P3DO? Who wants P3DOs out of office?
No, Massey. But yes, he co-signed with Ro Khanna, a Democrat, for the Epstein Files Transparency Act. That is the reason why Donald Trump endorsed his opponent during the primaries, and he lost.
Well, let me tell you something, man. When it comes to the whole Epstein thing, it's without a doubt the biggest nothing burger probably ever created in Washington and in the news media ever. And I'll tell you what.
There are powerful people in that need to be arrested.
Okay. I will tell you this right now. Okay. And you can mark my words, write it down that we had this conversation, because in 10 years, the outcome will be the same. All right. The only person who was directly involved in this was Epstein and Maxwell. A guy who's doing the kinds of things that Epstein was doing is not going to make sure that it's a well-known secret that if you want to get in on that kind of action, that he's the man to see.
That's just not true. That's just simply not true. There was co-conspirators.
Well, you're saying,
even at the time,
where's your evidence?
Even at the time, the FBI determined that there were co-conspirators. Guess what? When the files were released, when the files were released, I mean, Les Wexner was one of them named as a co-conspirator. They redacted the name. Also,
Wexner.
there's credible evidence in regards to like Clinton and Trump. Right, there are credible evidence against
you
these men.
you think Clinton was diddling teenage prostitutes?
I think that Clinton could have some involvement. I think he needs to be investigated.
Okay.
And if it found that
Okay.
because I can't say anything because he hasn't been charged, so I have to be careful with my words. But I think Clinton and Trump should be investigated. And if it found that if it's found that they did do anything, then they should be put in prison.
And did you see the deposition that Clinton sat for?
Not for the full 4 hours, but yes, I saw
Okay.
some of the deposition.
Did you see anything in that deposition that would lead you to believe that he was directly involved in what
No.
Epstein was doing? No, I wouldn't either. No,
Obviously-
I don't
obviously
either.
he would deny, right?
Well, of course he would. Of course he would deny it, but nobody has come forward. Not a single confirmed victim of Epstein has come out publicly and accused anybody.
But you
other
can
than
agree if
Jeffrey Epstein.
you can agree if like Bill Clinton or Trump did something, they should be held accountable, right?
Of course, yeah, of course, of course. But
So what about
this is-
Donald Trump
but-
telling like Jeffrey Epstein
Well-
may every day be another wonderful secret?
hold, let me just finish what I was saying real quick before you. We don't have one single confirmed victim, other than Virginia Roberts.
We have Jane
That
Doe
has
4.
that has. Okay, I can't get my point out if you keep cutting me off.
Continue.
We don't have one single confirmed victim of Jeffrey Epstein, with the exception of Virginia Roberts, who has come out publicly and shown their face publicly and made a public accusation against anybody other than Jeffrey Epstein, other than Virginia Roberts, who accused Prince Andrew, who I believe more likely than not did have a encounter with her, and the accusation that she made against Alan Dershowitz.
Do you
Jane
believe
Doe-
the
Jane-
accusations against Prince Andrew?
I believe it's more. I do believe it's more likely than not that it happened. Yes.
So then you do think that there are co-conspirators?
Well, right. If you listen to my statement, okay, my statement was the only person who's been publicly accused by a confirmed victim was Jeffrey Epstein and Andrew Windsor, and also Alan Dershowitz.
Okay.
So-
and you
and so,
believe
but-
those? You
but-
believe
but-
those are? You believe those are? Are you like saying that there's no possible way that no one else was involved?
No,
Would
I'm
you-
not saying that. I'm not saying that there's no possible way.
Would you support
there's-
investigations?
There's been, dude. This has been getting investigated for 20 freaking years. We're
He's
nearly
been-
at, we are
he's-
nearly at when did he go to jail in when did he go to jail in Florida? 2008. 2008. Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
06
one of
or
those,
07.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're at 20 years
The
right
thing
now.
is, like they gave him a slap on the hand that time, and then he got arrested again, right, under Trump's term, I
well,
believe.
he got a slap on the wrist because
wrist.
he was only charged with 2 crimes. Okay.
And I guess
he
what,
was
the
char-
FBI didn't want to interview other victims, and they didn't. Like,
Well,
there's just like this whole thing that like
Okay.
it's this big scandal. Like, would you support investigations against Trump and Bill Clinton?
Bro,
Like right
bro, this has been investigated until the freaking cows come home.
Trump hasn't been
and there's
investigated.
he most certainly of course he has.
When has
of
Trump
course
been
he's-
investigated?
Dude. When well, I'll tell you if you let me get some sentences out, it'll make a lot more sense for you, okay? We're at 20 years now, okay, since he was charged with 2 felonies in the state of Florida that he pled. I think he either pled guilty or no contest to. Either way, he was convicted, okay? One was solicitation of prostitution. The second charge was procuring a minor for prostitution. Those are the 2 charges that he pled guilty to. Now, why didn't they charge him with more? The reason why he wasn't charged with more, and the reason why he wasn't, because there were scores of girls that could have come forward and testified against him. 2 reasons, okay? Number 1, all of these girls that he got from West Palm Beach were paid. They were paid for what they did. They came to his house, they gave him a massage, they probably gave him a happy ending, and they were paid for it. Okay? On top of that, let me finish. On top of that, many of those girls brought other girls to him and were paid for that also. Okay? Those girls engaged in criminal behavior. Prostitution is illegal and it's a criminal offense, even if you are a minor in Florida at that time. Now, as of 2012, it's no longer something that a minor can be charged with. They've changed the law, and as of 2012, a minor cannot be charged with prostitution. These girls were accepting money for sexual services, which is a crime in the state of Florida. And on top of that, they were directly involved in procuring other minors for prostitution. That was a crime as well.
But wouldn't it be illegal? Wouldn't it be illegal for them to like request those sexual services from those minors since they're minors?
Yes,
and minors can't
yes.
So then I don't understand the point.
Because he was breaking the law too, but they were also breaking the law by receiving money.
We're doing victim blaming here. Like they were obviously groomed. They were believed. They were like told that
Jeremiah,
that what they were doing was okay.
Jeremiah. That's another bullshit term right there. Groomed. Okay, it was very obvious why they were going there. It was very obvious what they were going to do. And when they were asked, hold on. When they were asked to do more, they agreed to do more, and they received money for it. And one girl in the Epstein documentary admits to bringing somewhere between 16 and 20 other girls to Jeffrey Epstein. So that girl right there broke the law. She was directly involved. She received payment for bringing girls to Jeffrey Epstein. The reason why you couldn't really bring him to trial and fry him like a hot dog on the 4th of July is because none of these girls wanted to come forward and testify.
They didn't. Real. People get groomed. Okay, children get groomed.
Jeremiah.
It's not a bullshit term.
It is a bullshit term. Hold on a second. None of these girls. Regardless. Okay, if you want to use the term groomed, that's fine. But nonetheless, these teenage girls, okay, didn't want to go and publicly declare that yes, they took money for sexual favors for this old man. They were embarrassed and they didn't want to testify. On top of that, a lot of them were concerned that they themselves would also be charged with a crime for bringing other girls to Jeffrey Epstein. So that's what made it so difficult to prosecute him. I'm just stating fact here.
Okay,
Jeremiah,
Epstein victims were also drugged too.
But
like,
Jeremiah,
like, hold on. You've been talking for a while, and I just want to like
no, but I just want you to understand. I just want you to understand.
I can't understand when you're victim blaming. I don't understand.
Again, I'm not fucking blaming the goddamn victims, dude. Okay, this is another thing that you liberals do. Is you're saying they broke the law. I say one thing.
They were being threatened or drugged or something.
They did break the law. They did break the law. Okay, I'm just telling you what the law is. Okay, I'm not blaming the victims. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just
threatened or drugged.
I'm stating a fact.
Okay, did they get groomed?
Well, you have to articulate what you mean by that. What do you mean when you say that? Excuse me.
Like a definition of groomed?
No, no. Don't sit there and Google that shit, bro.
I don't know the exact definition.
But hold on. You use the word, so you tell me what you meant when you said that.
What I meant when I say that was just going to be like telling.
Were they enticed? Yeah, they were enticed with $300 of money for an hour's worth of work.
Well, what I meant by groomed is like saying that being like a friend. You know, trying to like close up and like befriend them and telling them it's okay and making them think it's okay.
Yes.
So were they groomed?
In some cases, yes.
Were they also threatened to like bring other people, other victims?
No, I don't think any of them have come forward and said that they were threatened that if they didn't bring other people for Epstein that they were going to be in any kind of trouble.
Well, but there's thousands of victims, and not all of them came out.
Right, but none.
So we can't say that.
Well, you asked me if any of them were. I haven't seen evidence that any of that happened.
Right. Were they drugged?
I haven't heard one person come forward and say anything about being drugged either. Not to say that it didn't happen. Excuse me. So I'm just stating fact here. I'm not saying.
Listen, man, I dropped you down because I'm about to get off. And that's just like an absurd conversation. I don't want to continue. They were manipulated, groomed. Yeah. That's absurd. I'm going to hop off for tonight.